My name is Lorraine and I help people live with passion, purpose and positivity. Welcome to my channel and let's dive right into this video. New Paradigm Step 2. Now we have looked at New Paradigm Step 1 and I want to say one thing about Step 1 where I say love and appreciate where you are, and I want to do a little bit of a disclaimer on that one. When I say that, I don't mean that you allow people to walk all over you or you allow people to talk to you how you like. When you love and appreciate your reality where you are, more good things will come to you, but you're obviously going to have contrast when they're not. So you make your boundaries clear with step 1. You don't become a doormat. So your boundaries are more clear when you're living and appreciating your reality as it is. It's not the other way around. You don't sort of just say yes, yes, yes to everything. So I just wanted to just say that about step 1. But let's dive into step 2. And step 2 of the new paradigm, as per Nick Brow's book, Power Manifesting, is be clear and detailed on what you want, where and who you want to be. I mean, why have you got to be clear on everything about what you want? And I'll tell you why. It's because the universe can hear and feel everything that you're saying. So if you're not clear about what you want and you're wishy-washy and you don't write it down or whatever, how can the universe guide you to what you do want? It's like saying, right, I live in Hitchin, I live 30 miles from London. I say, right, today I want to go to London, so I get on the train or I get in my car and I get the map out or I get my sat nav out and then I go to the train station and I buy a ticket to London, and that's clear, isn't it? I'm saying I want to go and I do the necessary steps to get to London. But with our desires, we're not like that, are we? We sort of just casually say, oh, I want more money. We casually say, oh, I want my soulmate, or I want that lovely house. But we're not clear about it, are we? We're wishy-washy about it. So if we're wishy-washy about it, how can we expect it to come to us? And I'm going to tell you the way to do that in a minute. But first of all, I'm going to go over a few things about the perspectives about the old and new paradigm. And I've discussed this before with you. So the old paradigm in step 2 is fear-based responses and perspectives. And then the new paradigm is love-based responsives and perspectives. So often if we're wanting something, we feel sometimes that we can't get it, don't we? We fear that if we ask for it, we can't get it. And that goes deeper into feelings of being unworthy or not deserving what we want. And that's something else, because if you go asking for something and you don't feel like you're worthy, it's not going to come, is it? So there's no point in writing it down. So what I'd suggest is work on them feelings of not being worthy. You know, work on loving yourself and appreciating yourself more, because as I've said before, your outer reality is a reflection, is like a mirror of your inner feelings. So get them, you know, when you're writing your desires down, sort of gauge how you're feeling when you're asking for them. If you're thinking, oh, I'd like £10,000 in my bank account by tomorrow, if you don't believe it, it's unlikely to come, is it? You know, but if you solely believe it, you trust in the universe, you trust in the law of attraction, these things will come. When you have a positive expectation of your desires, they will come without doubt, and you're feeling good about it. They definitely will come, but you have to do it in the right manner. So I'm going on to say, like, so you've got a desire. Let's say you want a desire for more money. Let's say I just said £10,000, and you want 10,000 more pounds this year than you did last year. That's not a lot to ask, is it? You know, it's believable. If it's believable, it's more likely to come. If you say, I want £1 million more from my career this year, it's, you know, are you going to believe that? If you're going to believe that, that's good. But so the belief is very, very important. So like I said, Gauge how you're feeling when you're asking for this desire. And then what I suggest, I mean, you can just say it in your head, and very often if you've got no resistance about this desire, the universe will miraculously, it'll feel like miraculously, will bring it to you almost immediately, because you've got no resistance. You know, like you say, oh, I'd love to speak to Mary. I haven't spoken to her in months. And then Mary rings. And people say, oh my God, that's a coincidence. It's not. It's you being a vibrational match to your desire. And because you've got no resistance towards it, it comes immediately. But with the bigger things in life, we want to get more clear, don't we? So I'm going to suggest these things that you can do to, you know, put your desires and write them down. Now, I've got various ways I do that, and I'm going to show you. But the reason we write it down, we're setting it in stone. We're setting our desire in stone. We're being clear to the universe. And then when we've written, you know, and there's like a flow feeling to it, you know, especially if you get in the emotional state of that desire, and then you start writing it down, and then you're writing it in the present tense, and you're feeling the emotions of having it, you're writing it down, and there's something like quite magical about that experience, isn't there? And also when you've written it down, you're being clear to the universe, but you can also look back on your desire, can't you? You can read it every morning, but then let go of it, which we'll talk about in a moment. So one of the ways that I wrote a desire, well, this is a general desire of how I want my life to go, in all areas. And it's a small book, it's just 2 pages. And at the end, which I always say, is thank you, universe, I appreciate and love you forever. So I'm trusting the universe will bring me this desire, and I've written it down. I read it every morning, but then I let go of it, because that's the other thing. If you're feeling desperate about your desire and wondering when it's going to come and all this sort of thing, it'll be held up, because you're then in the fear and the lack mentality, aren't you? You're not trusting the universe. You're doubting that the universe will bring this to you. So you've written it down. You know it's going to happen. You know the wheels of motion are going in the law of attraction, and you just let go of it. So as I say, don't like say, when's it coming? When's it coming? You know, because and I know it's tempting to do that, but that's very often why things aren't coming to people. So another thing that I do, and this is a bigger, so that's an A5 book, isn't it? So this is a bigger A4 book, and I always like to get the spiral notepads, and I cover it, as you can see, I cover this in wrapping paper. And the beauty of this is like, I've done lots of scripting here, you know, I've done different types of scripting, but the beauty of this is, when you're in the flow of writing, and you start writing and you're feeling the energy of it, you're getting specific about your desire and you're writing it down, because it's on a big page, you can like just let rip, and like, you know, before you know it, you've filled 4 pages up of your desires. And that's the beauty of having a big book like that. But it's up to you, you know, it's entirely up to you, but I do recommend you writing it down. So another thing I've done just lately, and this is another way of doing it, and this is like smaller desires that I have in the day, and it's called intentions, and I'm setting my intentions about what I want for that day. And in this particular one, I put intention to be my best version. Now I've written a list, so you can write it in story form, or you can write a list. It's whatever suits you, but the important thing is that you've got it down on paper, you've made it clear to the universe, you've made it clear to yourself. You've made it clear to yourself exactly what you want, and the more specific you are, the better it is. But a little side note on that, when you're getting very specific about your desire and it feels like you're feeling uncomfortable, you can feel the resistance, don't get specific. Go a bit more general. You could, instead of saying 10,000 more pounds in my bank account this year, you could say, thank you, universe, for bringing me more money into my bank account this year. I'm really grateful, and I'm watching it come in, and I'm feeling good about it, and I know my energy around money is shifting. So you could do it like that, general. So always be gauging how you're feeling when you're when you're writing your desire down. It's very important, because if you've got that resistance, it'll hold it up. So that's it on step 2 of the new paradigm. And as I say, I'm a work in progress with you guys, and I want to tell you what's, once I've read the book and I've gone through everything, I want to discuss how I'm getting on, what's happened, how I'm progressing, because it is a very good way of learning the law of attraction, is to do it in these stages, because often people will say the law of attraction's not working. It is. It's working in every single solitary moment. It's like gravity, and it's working whether you realise it or not. And it's better that you do know that it's realised, isn't it? Because then you can be more deliberate about it, and then you can be more specific, and then you can become a power manifester, and then things will be happening just like that, like I'm planning to be. I'm getting there. I've been studying this stuff for a long time. I love it. I mean, I'll never, as I say, never get it wrong. You cannot get it done, and you never get it wrong. Abraham Hicks saying. So I hope this helped, guys. If you enjoyed this video, please press the like button, subscribe to my channel and hit the bell notification. And I'll put a link below on my free ebook that was written by an anonymous millionaire 100 years ago, which goes into a simplified way of learning about the law of attraction. And I'll also put my website, Instagram and Facebook down in the description below. Hope you have a wonderful day. Blessings to you, my friends. Much love and namaste.